Steel on Steel. News, commentary, interview, and debate. An alternative information source for politics, religion, and global events. Now, here's the host of Steel on Steel, John Leffler.
Okay, we've come to the point where I need your help once again. And we only do this maybe once a year, twice a year, when there's something that's really going on that needs your help. Welcome back to Steel on Steel. John Leffler here with you. I want to tell you a story. I just told you the story of Catherine Locke. I want to tell you another story. There was a case of a pastor whom we shall call Pastor X. Pastor X, I'm keeping his name quiet for now. Pastor X was likewise in the process of being accused of blasphemy. And a lot of times, people don't bother in that country to wait till the charges are carried out. They simply murder you where you are by burning you alive or beating you to death or something else in that order. Pastor X and his wife and 3 kids had to start fleeing. And they went from family house to family house in different parts of Pakistan. But that, of course, endangered the family members with whom they were staying. And finally, they had to flee the country. This happened within the last 24 months. You know what the situation as far as blasphemy charges in that country are. He fled to another country. However, his visa has expired there, and the police are actively seeking to find them, along with other members from Pakistan, to deport them back to Pakistan, which is not a good thing. What we've managed to do, we knew of this pastor's existence prior to his ever leaving Pakistan or running into trouble. What they need is they need to process legal paperwork so they can stay in the country where they are legally for at least a year and get a job permit so he can work. Bear in mind, these people were running for anywhere between 12 and 24 months, the best I can estimate. I may be a little exaggerated on the 24-month side, but at least for a year, they've been doing nothing but looking over their shoulders, always afraid of the knock on the door, the police, the Muslim crowds that wanted to kill them. They've been living in fear. It's taken a pretty big stress toll. What we have done is we have, through our contacts, gone into a pastor at a church in that country who traveled to visit them. We paid the pastor's expenses, the second pastor, to go and talk to them to make sure they were really legit, even though we pretty well knew they were to start with, and they are. The deal now is we have to raise somewhere between $7,000 and $8,000 United States currency in order to complete all the legal paperwork so these people can finally let down for a year, reside in residence without fear of being apprehended by the police every time they go out for food or something. And we've been supporting them on a monthly basis with about $300 US for their rent and their food and medical necessities and things of that nature. So far, we have $4,700 raised. We're still short by about another $3,000 to $4,000. If you as a Steel listener want to help in this one, and you've done it in times before when we've asked, this is a really worthwhile cause. Now, we're processing everything so it's tax deductible for you, because you know Steel is not a tax deductible operation, through Candlelight Christian Fellowship in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. They're handling this. So if you go to our website, steelonsteel.com, you know the website from the show, steelonsteel.com, there's a button there on the front page upon which you can click. Doesn't that sound so stuffy? You can click on it like that. Upon which you can click if you want to help this. It'll take you right to the candlelightfellowship.org's webpage. You can make a donation online, or there's information about mailing in a check. You must specify for Pastor X. There's a comments field for how the funds are to be directed once they get there. And we really appreciate it. SteelOnSteel.com. There's a link there. It'll take you right over when you click on it to the candlelightfellowship.org donation page, and make sure you specify either on your check when you get the address information or just the online donation. And I really appreciate this and everything that Steel listeners have done for every one of these little causes we come up with, and we don't see anything. I don't get anything out of this, okay? It just passes on through and goes to where it's needed, and we'll give you reports later on as things progress. But these are the critical weeks, and please pray that everything go well and that these people be protected during this time. If you would, please pray for us for provision and protection. Pray for those suffering for their faith around the world. If you would, pray for those in charge of your own particular government and for righteousness in your county, your state, and your country or your province, wherever it happens to be. Until next week, Lord willing, we're at SteelOnSteel.com. I'm John Leffler. The program is Steel on Steel.
This has been Steel on Steel with John Leffler, an alternative information source for politics, religion, and global events. Steel on Steel is produced by Carol Leffler, engineered by Brad Grant. The views and opinions expressed on this broadcast are not necessarily those of the staff, management, owners, or advertisers of this radio station. Steel on Steel can be heard 24 hours a day on the internet at steelonsteel.com. CDs or online subscriptions support the ongoing program production. For more information, call toll-free 1-800-829-5646. That's 1-800-829-5646. This is the Steel on Steel Radio Consortium.